54 Corporate Secrets Consumers Should Know, according to Reddit. Number 54. Has anyone mentioned agriculture yet? If I'm in the US, paid our workers a salary that attracted legal immigrants and citizens, all produce/ornamentals would be priced as high as the stuff marketed as organic. A lot of farm labor is shit work, and it's the only industry with no overtime pay requirements. 50 plus hours a week is normal. The factory farm I work at starts at sunrise with a minimum 9-hour day, working Saturdays as well. I'm a US citizen with a horticulture degree, so I have it better than most of my illegal immigrant coworkers. I once spent a 10-hour day with a crew bent over in the field just to see what it was like, and I had to take the next day off. I try to source all of my produce and plants more ethically because of this, even though it's pricey. Damn. Number 53. I work in video games. Our job is to make our game as addictive as possible so that we can make the most money out of microtransactions. Think mobile phone games. A lot of our game's design is by marketing telling us what people will most likely buy in the game by watching the data. Sure, it starts free to play, but to keep you playing and paying, we mine data to make it more sticky. After a while, I felt like I was working for a drug dealer and quit recommending our games to people I knew. Sure, people have fun playing the games we make, but I don't want to hear later about how much money you or your kids wasted on it. Well, hey man, it's one thing to buy something that you're going to get use out of, but to pay to keep playing, that's a bit much, guys. You gotta watch what's really going on. Number 52, not really my profession anymore, or a profession at all, but I used to work the production line at the Swiss Colony Bakery. For those who aren't familiar, it's basically a mail-order gourmet food. Quality control in the factory was nil. 75% of the workers had little to no training. When promoters came through to do a video, they had to bring in extra people to make it look busy. They also had to scrape a couple foot-tall mounds of chocolate off the floor, sweep up dead bugs, and very carefully not pan up to show that the ceiling had been on fire. Anything you order from them has a good chance of being damaged, tainted, or modified. You hear that, motherfuckers? Be careful with this mail-order gourmet food shit, apparently. This fucking thread is a gold mine. So, as we continue, number 51, accounting. That the appearance of everything is fine is more important than everything actually being fine. To be honest, that can be said of pretty much every workplace. Financial statements signs off by accountants are becoming more like rubber stamps. Accountants are blessings. Accountants are blessing financial statements that haven't been properly vetted because of the constant constraints, god damn it, engulfing the industry. It's only a matter of time before the next Enron/accounting scandal. It's only a matter of time. Jesus Christ. As we continue along, 54 corporate secrets consumers should know. Number 50. I'm an advertising photographer. Pretty much anything you based off the work of my industry won't be as nice as it looks in the ads. We put a lot of work into making something that's worth $5 looks like it's worth $50. Well, of course. You ever had a sandwich from fucking Burger King or McDonald's that looked like it did in a damn ad? Number 49. Biomedical researcher. 80% of published peer review studies are not repeatable. That's pretty fucking scary, dude. It's funny that, like, can you imagine us doing something and, like, just getting a result one time? You know, like imagine us, like, getting a ball, right? And then bouncing it off of a kid's head and then having the kid go, wait a minute, I can breathe better than I've ever breathed before. And then us going, you know what, this must be some kind of magic ball. I'm gonna market it as a magic ball and say shit like magic ball. 100% of the times that we've tested it on bouncing kids' heads, they just breathe better. Magic ball, and then you can put it on there because, oh my God, you didn't have to repeat the test. Number 48. It is against Walmart's company policy for hourly employees to call 911 in the event of an emergency. What? Rather, they must notify the nearest manager, which could take anywhere from minutes to weeks, depending on where the manager is, what they're doing, whether the hourly employees has a walkie, etc. Employees can be and have been fired for calling 911 to report an in-store emergency. You heard it, criminals. Niggas working at Walmart, unless they're prepared to get fired, cannot call 911 without referring to their manager. WTF is right, says the first response. I worked at a Walmart back in the day and at the service desk and called 911 so often the cops knew me. That must have changed. Somebody, the same guy who said that comment responds, as of 2015, this was quite plainly spelled out in the computer learnings thingies we had to do. I also saw a lot of hourly supervisors near the service desk. Maybe they were authorized to call. In any case, it was drilled into us. Do not call 911. Call your manager, who will call a code and then call 911. Somebody else responds, if any of my loved ones need emergency assistance at Walmart and this delay costs them their life severe injury, I'll remember to have my attorney get a copy of this horseshit training learning thingy. Any delay can cost someone their life in the event of a heart attack. Can you imagine somebody seizing out on the fucking floor and instead of calling the ambulance, you out here like, oh, can I get my manager down here, please? Number 47, guys. Number 47. What? Can you imagine if like you and another dude went in there? This is all hypothetical. NSA and CIA, calm down. I'm not trying to coach criminals. Either way, this is a really stupid plan. I'm just saying hypothetically, how crazy would it be if two guys went in there, one guy was strapped, the other guy was just going to go find the manager and hold him up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep him nice and distracted, maybe do a jig, a little dance. And then the other guy just goes around single-handedly like robbing each of the employees who can't call the police. You know what I'm talking about? He got a gun, so he's just like, give me what you got on you. You know what I'm talking about? Go into this room. Don't come out until I tell you to. Give me your phone, maybe. You know, you can't call. If you do anything back there, I got another dude back there who is dressed like a Walmart employee. Don't look around the room, you know, something crazy like that. You know what I mean? And then just, that's how they do it, because what are they going to do? Call 911? You know what I'm talking about? They don't want to get fired. Number 47. If your baby is in full-time care, 40 plus hours a week, the odds are that we know about their milestones, rolling, crawling, walking, talking, etc. before you do. It's just because the majority of their, It's just because the majority of their walking time is spent with us. We don't tell you because working hard to provide for your kid doesn't make you a bad parent, and we don't want you to feel like you're missing out. That's an interesting thing to think about, is if you busy and you got your kids somewhere, you know, the first time they spoke, the first time they walked, may not necessarily be their first so much as it is their first time doing that around you. Okay. Number 46. How we fix our computer issues in IT. We turn it off and we turn it on again. Seriously, this fixes 99% of computer issues, and this is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of technology these days has built-in measures to self-repair itself, and these measures, or sometimes countermeasures, are essentially built in to prevent whatever the fuck fucks up a computer, to the point where most computers will save states of itself when it's working fine. So when shit does go tits up and shit ain't working fine, it'll literally go, you know what, we gonna go back to that time when shit was working fine. And that's how it'll do sometimes. Like, I have a computer that has literally just lost its tits, but you know, partitions are corrupted, so I'm gonna have to download and put a fucking USB boot fucking iOS on the goddamn, not iOS, just an operating system. What am I on about? Number 45, guys. Bakery owner here. If you order a custom cake, we will charge you a fair price depending on decoration, size, flavorings, etc. No matter what type of event it's for. We don't upcharge you for... Okay, I'm sorry about that. We don't upcharge you for weddings, as much as Reddit likes to think. We will, however, upsell you. You want a white cake? That's fine. But this Genoese sponge is much tastier and costs 75% more per serving. You want a lace wrapped bottom? What if I hand piped lace all over it? It would be much more beautiful and cost about $100 to $500 more depending on the cake size. You get the idea. Basically, if you have a firm cake budget, make sure you let the bakery know when you start your tasting. Take their suggestions if they fit within your budget. They won't try to upsell you too much unless they're assholes, and it'll save a lot of disappointment. This is very important for, you candy asses who have found somebody that you love so much that you gotta get married, ritual marriage, blah, blah, blah. My parents did it, and so did theirs before them, so we get married. It's cool, guys. I'm not implying that you're basic because you want to get married, but I do want you equipped with the information. You're going in for a car. The first thing you say to the salesman is not, look, I got so much money, I don't even know what to do with it. What is the most expensive car here? I'll pay anything. Here's a check. That's not what you say to the fucking salesman. Just let them know what's really going on. And, let them know, be firm, and figure some shit out. Number 44, most cheap sex toys are made out of unstable materials. What the bing bong? That may leach chemicals into your body and may over time start to melt, especially if stored with other toys. These materials can also be porous, a perfect home for bacteria, so black spots might grow on your dildo. What the fuck are you talking about? Somebody said once you go black, sepsis. What the fuck? Look, I don't know anything about sex toys, so man, I hope that you guys aren't part of that flock there. That's some scary stuff. As we continue on the list of 54 corporate secrets consumers should know, we arrive on number 43. I used to work at an airport as a baggage handler for several major airlines for 8 years. We did a bit of everything, servicing large airlines, and I've seen it all. Some people think it's a cool job that must pay decent, but it's just above minimum wage, and they would hire anyone. Bing bong. Baggage handler, huh? Even if you couldn't speak much English, those are the people you are trusting to de-ice your plane so it won't crash after you take off. You just hope they understand the small training course teaching them how to do it. Often I would have to tell some people spray the plane over again because it still had ice on it. It's amazing nothing bad ever happened. Never drink coffee on an airplane. Oh. You guys are going to learn some shit today, apparently. The plane has a water port on the bottom that gets filled by the baggage handlers. It's a cart we drive around with portable water in that we pump onto plane. The hose we use sometimes falls and drags on the ground behind the cart. The water cart gets filled up by a garden hose inside the building. Often the garden hose also falls on the ground in the same room they fill the lavatory cart in. Oh, the lav cart has a blue chemical to break down waste, and if someone walks away while it's filling and that overflows, there's blue chemical water on the ground. Then your drinking water hose falls in the ground into it. 99% of the luggage is well treated. I'm sorry to say, but if you load your luggage to 100 pounds, someone has to put some muscle into moving it and will not be gentle. The baggage handlers are held to a strict time limit. Ours was 13 minutes from the first passenger getting off until the bags had to be off the plane and driven to the arrival baggage carousel. With a couple hundred bags on a plane, this means we have to move quickly. This involves half chucking luggage or sliding along the 18-foot long baggage area under the plane. So if you have a really light bag, it's getting launched and then on to the next one. The best bet is to stay right around the average 25 pounds. Luggage was most often broken by the baggage belt system itself that you see at the front desk when your luggage disappears. Once it goes through the wall, it goes through an X-ray, and if the X-ray finds something abnormal, the baggage system activated a larger swinging arm to smack your bag off of the belt to go down a different path to a second X-ray. It hits the bags hard. It was a terrible design and ruined a lot of people's luggages. Most airports don't have the system, but some still do. Touch nothing in the plane. The cleaning crews don't care about how clean it is. It just needs to look like they cleaned it. Passengers fill seat pockets with snotty tissues and leave them there. Happens a lot. The cleaning crews just pull out and make the magazines look tidy. But your magazines are still disgusting afterwards. Often I would see people wipe the disgusting floor, then the toilet that you're sitting on. Ugh. Most planes only get cleaned once a day and at the end of the night. The flight attendants do a quick walkthrough between an arrival and departure to grab big noticeable garbage and crossing the seat belts to give the illusion that it's clean, but that's it. Coffee pots on the plane were also pretty neglected. 4 people could make an entire airliner look clean enough to pass a cleaning audit, and they could do it in less than 20 minutes. That includes going through all 200 seat pockets, vacuuming the entire plane, taking out garbages, cleaning the washrooms and galley areas. They had to be fast because as they are cleaning, the next plane is almost certainly pulling in and waiting to be cleaned. Never get a blanket on a plane unless they hand it to you in a wrapped plastic bag. If it's not brand new in the plastic, that means another passenger used it and the cleaning crew found it crumpled on the seat. They just fold it, stack it with all the others in the overhead compartment, and sometimes with white stains and all. This is actually in the training videos everyone watches on their first day. They're actually the way the airlines wanted it done. It's a money saver to not have to buy new blankets all the time. The airline companies are one of the cheapest companies you'll ever find. And I have more, but this is long enough already. Bing bong, guys. Number 42, software development. You'll always be pressed for money, time, and money. What? Wait, you'll always be pressed for more time and money. Man, I read money where money wasn't there. Looks like I'm looking for that money. You know what I'm talking about? Software development. You will always be pressed for more time and money. Your product will always, almost always, launch with major bugs and issues. You will spend most of your final moments before you go live fixing as many of the visible issues as you can, and subsequent updates actually getting the product to where you envisioned it as you were building. Sounds like video games, buddy. These days, you know what I'm talking about? Sounds like video games these days. Number 41, whenever you see an advertisement with a quote from someone, we just had someone in the office say that, so technically we aren't making it up, even though we tell them exactly what to say. Okay. Number 40, wash your fruit. We find spiders hanging out in grapes and berries all the time. Your friendly neighborhood grocery store employee. Ugh, spiders. Just getting in there? Gross. Number 39, our code is utter shit and no one understands what is going on, but hey, it works. Somebody posted what they considered their favorite post on the topic. Catastrophic error. Programming sucks. Man, this shit longer than a motherfucker. I'll read it later. I'll read it as its own thing. Oh wait, some bitch already read it? Who the fuck is this bitch? God damn. I'll do it though. I'll read it later. I think it's entitled Programming Sucks. 2014. Interesting. Interesting. So number 38, camp counselor. Your kid sucks and is a brat. You're a shitty parent. Man, some people need to hear that a little bit more. Number 37, after working in the travel industry, I can tell you that the hotel rates are often not fixed prices. If guests come to the front desk and ask the price, we generally start at the high end. Most people accept this as fact and pay up. However, if a customer is hesitant or threatens to walk out, we can sometimes drop the price to keep them there. Often, there is a bottom line price set by the owners. We can't go any lower than that or we lose money. Interesting. You gotta be haggling for a place to stay. That's my situation right now. Where am I gonna stay? Number 36. Man, try that again. That was like a new number you made up. Number 36. Many of the books you read, especially romance, aren't written by the person whose name is on the cover. Most romance books are ghost written and bought by someone else, often a man, I've found. A man. And published under a female's name with a fake biography. How do I know this? I'm a ghostwriter. Yeah, my headlight's on fire and I ride motorcycles around. Number 35 has been deleted. Let's see if we can figure out what it was based on context clues. The initial response reads, okay, there's nothing there. Man, you know it was juicy if that shit's gone. You know what I'm talking about? Damn. Number 34, 9 out of 10 AC units are the same. Despite the brand and by extension the cost, they mostly come from one maker in New Jersey. Ingersoll Rand. I like that his last name's Rand. You think he had a kid that went on to be the Iron Fist? It's just a fucking cuck. Fuck the Iron Fist. You hear me, Danny Rand? Somebody else says throwaway account. I used to work as a manager. Sorry, I got really intense about it. Danny Rand really quick. Throwaway account. I used to work as a manager at Train, subdivision of IR in Trenton. Residential units, not commercial. Even though the units may pass quality control and physically look fine, the unit itself may not be ideal in the customer's eyes. The worst I've ever seen was our plant manager ripped open a unit, I forgot why, and found 4 chicken bones in it. Only 4? I demand the highest number of chicken bones in my AC unit. How the fuck we gonna know that it's working? You gotta hear the rattling of chicken bones in there. Dreaming about my chicken bone. That's a fucking Yoko Kanno Cowboy Bebop reference. Okay, in case you think that's fake. Okay, I'm gonna type in Yoko Kanno chicken bone. Okay. You guys think I'm playing with all this bullshit all the time, but trust me, there's so much going on in the world, you guys can't handle it. Speaking of which, you ever go to my Amazon wish list and check out some of that? Currently unavailable, it was $200. It was the cheapest one on the fucking... What is my life? As we continue along the list of 54 corporate secrets that consumers should know, we continue with this chicken bone in the AC unit story. Of course, we don't let people eat on our floor, but when we're worried about numbers, making tact time a goal of a number of units completed per minute, things get overlooked as we try to save money, like hiring another supervisor on the floor for the 3rd shift, regardless of complaints from our other shift managers that pulling 12 to 14-hour shifts 6 days a week is, oh my god, come on guys, come the fuck on, just making them air conditioning units. Okay, number 33 guys, teacher. It's that time of the year to make class placements for the next year. Every year there are 2 or 3 teachers in the school who are so awful we cry over which students we have to sacrifice to them and hope that they are strong enough to survive a year with Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. Interesting stuff. Number 32. Very few institutions get computer security right. the fact that nothing catastrophic has happened yet is nearly a miracle. We all know this for a motherfucking fact, dude. Hackers are bored. That's what you need to understand. A lot of us are bored, you know what I mean? And when you think about it, if we were all any more autistic, we'd probably be guilty of some kind of federal crime that we committed out of boredom. Imagine if we had the capacity to hack into certain places, hack into people's shit. A lot of us wouldn't just be like crazy and steal somebody's money, you know what I mean? Or just skim a little bit off the top of something that they wouldn't notice. We would probably be bored to the point where we're sticking it to the people that are being assholes in our life, or just showing off, you know what I mean? I get in a fucking match of Overwatch. I'm not killing 5 or 6 people on the enemy team because I give a shit about winning or because I'm trying to make my own team look like ass by comparison. I'm doing it so that the enemy team at the end of the match sends me a message going, fuck you. Fuck you and the hero that you've chosen. Your class is what's wrong with this game. Oh, you're cheap. You're lame. I'm going to make all the excuses in the world for what I just witnessed you do. But the fact that they got to acknowledge that they just got their ass fucking scraped, you know what I'm talking about? While I just shoved a fist right up there, the iron fist. Fuck you, Danny Rand. This is getting off topic. My point is this, guys. Hospitals, anything you can name has like a hilarious security system going on. And the right person, if they felt like it, could just easily slide right the fuck up in there. And like the fact that more hackings don't occur in a capacity where like, we got all your shit, man, you better give us all of them. Like, I don't understand how the FCC can get away with the shit that they're doing, because like you're threatening what the internet is. So where are all the superheroes when you need them? If any of you heroes are listening right now, take down the FCC, man. They trying to fuck up net neutrality. How you gonna let that happen? Don't wait till it's too late. You know, I'm just kidding, CIA and NSA. I'm not trying to incite any kind of... I don't have a following. What are you gonna do, attack me? I'm just a man looking for a portable AC. You know what I'm talking about? Get that guy. He's after those Pop-Tarts. Number 31. Adam ruins everything, uses Reddit for ideas. I don't know who Adam uses everything is, but he should be ashamed of himself using Reddit for ideas. What kind of skip, scop, scallywag, bing bong, waka waka looking ass Shangri-La motherfucker coming out of here on that butter slice? Oh, I'm just gonna go on Reddit and get all your shit. Hey mom, check out this Reddit site. Yeah, fuck all these guys. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm butter sliced to the maximum. As we continue on our list of 54 corporate secrets consumers should know, we arrive. You hear that? We arrive at number 30. Damn. Busting out a throwaway for this one, and that he did. He even deleted his user account after. Only because I work for quite a big company that probably does have resources to identify me by my Reddit account. I work in mobile phone sales for a mobile network. One of the biggest things we'll get you on is upgrades. Once your contract is due to expire and you're eligible to upgrade your plan and get a new handset, most people just come into the store, find a new phone they like, on a plan they like, and take the first price offered to them. Others will ask if we can negotiate the price. We'll tell you no. And for the most part, that's true. Call through the cancellation teams. I've seen cancellation teams make some insane deals for people on monthly contract, lowering people to plans on devices that would normally have upfronts in the triple digits and just wiping them without a second thought. Contracts where the customers paying almost no premium on the phone or getting the airtime for next to nothing. It's insane. This also applies to your broadband at home. Once your introductory offer is gone, most of the time you can call up and have it regraded back to the introductory offer or the new offer if there's a better one. Never leave your broadband rolling for longer than the minimum contract term, because I guarantee you almost always you'll be able to get a better deal from the same company. And this is true. If you just call and make a fuss and be like, nigga, we canceling this shit, these people will be like, oh, okay, look, how about we do it for just, how about we just, come on, you gotta stay on this. He continues, got any 4G tablets or portable Wi-Fi devices with your phone plan as well? Well, first of all, let me thank you for helping me survive. The cross sell is basically what we live for in those jobs. Now, new connections are what the guys up top hound us for. I bet you don't know the mobile numbers attached to those devices, do you? Who would? You never use them. When they're eligible for upgrades, a lot of salespeople will do it as a new connection rather than an upgrade in order to get a new unit added on and then cancel off your old one, or give you instructions on doing that. Check first if your carrier offers any benefit to upgrading these devices, because sometimes they are customer loyalty benefits attached to these sorts of upgrades in order to prevent us from doing it this way. And the reason I'm losing steam and slowing down here is because I'm saddened by the fact that I've already lost some of you. Some of you aren't even in the room right now, but I can tell that I've lost you, and it's because it's the type of thing that you don't want to think about / you'd roll your eyes at. And I apologize that you don't either have a woman or a man in your life that lives for this technical nitty gritty, that they can kind of just like sit and listen and make sure that you're not getting fucked, because a lot of people don't want the headache and would just easily not deal with it. And who can blame you? Who wants a fucking headache? You know what I mean? And all of this shit is really just people trying to get you, and this is how they get you, is by pulling one over on you because you wouldn't know better, because why the fuck would you? You know what I mean? You don't have time in your life and space in your brain to be wasted on stupid shit like this to figure out the ins and outs of all of these different like things and this person's job as to how they're trying to. You just want to buy a fucking device and use it at the end of the day. You want it to work, and some of this crap is just built to kind of take advantage of your ignorance. But to be honest, that's the majority of how consumerism works, right? You know, that's the majority of what's going on, is being able to sell you something and have you to pay for more than it's worth, and having you not understand that. Beats headphones are a great example. You know what I mean? These things aren't worth what they're selling it to you for, but people are buying it and they're seeing it all over the place. So they're going, oh, it must be good. People they like are wearing it. So there's the marketing, and they're just like, I want to have what they have. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it's worth. What it really matters is what it's worth to you. What are you willing to put your fucking money where your mouth is as it pertains to this fucking product? And this is like slimy, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's no more slimy than any other job where you're walking into that car salesman and this car is worth $500, and this guy's like, I'll give it to you for $5,000, and you're like, can't you go any lower? And he's like, the lowest I'll go is $4,500. Okay, and you're feeling like, hey, I got a deal. I'm paying $500 less than I was gonna pay for this $500 car, but I don't know it's $500. I don't know that's what it's worth, you know. And when it gets broken inevitably, and it's gonna be cheaper to replace than to repair, because that's the way that the world works. And a lot of these things are made in a capacity where they're supposed to be, you know, it's planned obsolescence. These things are going to break down, because if they make something that lasts forever, they can't make a buck off of you in 5 years, in a decade, you know, in 15 years. They need to craft these things to break, so that by the time the iPhone 7 comes out, the iPhone 8 comes out, the iPhone 9 comes out, oh, well, my phone's kind of slow and it's running kind of stupid, and, you know, it's kind of weird. These devices ain't built like that, you know what I mean? These devices got some shit. These devices got some horsepower. These devices are stronger than the devices they were using to put fucking niggas on a rocket and send them up to space. So why are they breaking down in a capacity on a yearly basis where you can barely use them, because you got like, what, 6 apps on your phone, 10 apps on your phone, 20 apps on your phone? You know what I mean? They're stronger than the computers that we were fucking around with not 10 years ago, not 5 years ago, 2 years ago, my nigga. 2 years back, you looking at a computer with the fat back, you know what I'm talking about? These phones are better than that. But because of planned obsolescence, a lot of this shit is meant to break. And you know who's going to end up feeling it the most? Your wallet, baby. So look, how much is it worth? Is it worth your time? Is it worth your stress? It's kind of shaving years off of your life. It's kind of shaving time off of your life. And I understand some people would rather spend their time living. And if that means they got to throw extra money at some bullshit, then so be it. But hey, man, it's just brutal. The way that they're deliberately kind of skeevy and fucking shady with people about what they're paying for and trying to trick them into something that they really don't need. It's just the way the world works, but I don't have to like it. And none of us have to like it. Number 29, man. A lot of people think military is synonymous with discipline and top-tier job training. I've seen things that would make a McDonald's worker think that their job is pretty high class. Say word? Somebody said infantry here got out 2 years ago. Unless deployed, were just glorified janitors, trained to do nothing but kill, but had more time in service sweeping, mopping, picking weeds out of the motor pool than actually attempting to do what I was trained for. Hell, at least the end, I was able to tell other privates to go sweep the motor pool while it was raining. Oh boy. Number 28, man. That people in the kitchen and in factories also go to work when they feel ill, and you most likely have eaten something someone sneezed on, because there is a line between feeling sick, you can't get out of bed, and coughing and sneezing once in a while. Well, yeah, I guess it's the truth, to be honest. But what are we going to do about it? You know? Try to make all my meals frozen meals with my beef patties. I don't know what to say. We need to continue, man. Number 27. I own a bar. We get rich, while a lot of people drown their sorrows in alcohol. Seriously. It really depresses me. Somehow. But not too much. Let's go out on our wave runners, guys. I'm kidding. You know what I mean? Somebody said the same ideology as a drug dealer to addicts. I own a bar and we get rich while people just get drunk. I should buy a slot machine and set that up outside the house. Nah, that'd be crazy. Somebody would just rob that shit. Yeah, I'm talking about. Number 26. I worked in an independent senior citizen center for 5 years. I don't know about other facilities that are independent, but at mine, you were supposed to be mostly to completely independent. There were some tenants that needed a caretaker with them at all times, but the families found it cheaper than moving them to be in an assisted living facility. After about 2 years, we get a new director. We went from 20 rooms filled to 42 in a few months. Several of these tenants I would hardly call mostly to completely independent. Clearly, my boss just wanted to fill the rooms and get his bonus. We had 3 women move in during the same week that all had dementia. One of them went completely downhill in a period of 8 months. When she first got there, she just seemed forgetful and quick to anger. After a month, she forgot her children were adults and that her husband had died. Another month, she had no idea where she was. She thought the facility was a hotel and would always talk about how horribly she was treated. She caught her apartment on fire. She'd freak out when there were guests in the dining room. Eventually, she refused to bathe and ended up with severe yeast infections between rolls on her stomach. We had no idea that was going on. We just knew that she wasn't bathing and smelled very foul. She ended her 8-month stay stealing other tenants' outdoor decorations and becoming incontinent. The others caused all kinds of problems, wouldn't stop harassing staff to the point where it was getting really hard to perform our tasks. Other tenants threatened to move out and refused to go to meals so they could avoid them. My point of this is, just because a facility says that they'll accept your dementia-ridden parents doesn't mean you should place them there. Sure, it's cheaper for you, but they don't get the care that they need. There are no nurses in our independent facility. In the 5 years that I've worked there, we have only had 2 half-hour meetings educating our staff about dementia and how to handle the people suffering from it. There's no one watching them 24/7, and they could seriously harm themselves and others. They need to be somewhere where the staff is trained to handle them at their worst and properly guide them through the horrible transition. Please think twice before putting them in independent facilities. Bing bong, guys. Number 25. Anyone who's ever been at a vehicle assembly plant knows that most cars have a quality of about 80% of their specifications, and they're sold that way to everyone. Well, like I said earlier, man, planned obsolescence. Let's get it working to the point where you can wheel this thing down the street and back. You know what I'm talking about? After a while, it won't be our fault. It'll be somebody else's fault. Shh. Maybe I did this wrong. Was I driving with the brakes on? I don't know. I don't know. Margaret. Who's Margaret? Number 24. Tech startups. Man, I want to be part of a startup so bad. Are you part of a startup? Get me in on the ground floor. Terms. Ground floor. Oh my God. Number 24. Tech startups. Many places spend almost no time or effort on security. It's a race to add features and patch over major bugs to try to get some kind of revenue stream before the funding runs out. Security isn't a problem until it is, so it's always on the back burner. How do I not know any damn hackers? You know? And it's funny because they're so focused on trying to make money that they don't even put time into securing that money. So like the money is up for grabs. Yeah, I'm talking about. Not that we should be taking people's money. You're saying the problem. Number 23. If you're sitting at a blackjack table and aren't sure what play to make, ask the dealer. No, seriously, we're trained to know the official blackjack strategy guide and are allowed to give you that information. Considered common knowledge. If the dealer doesn't know it offhand, their supervisor should have a copy of it and will help you out. That's cute. What an interesting piece of information that you're now equipped with. Number 22. Doctor here. I'll see a patient Monday morning in the hospital, work all night, and then Tuesday morning in the hospital, and I won't have slept in the 24 hours in between. And this is totally normal and an accepted practice in medicine. Doctors don't get sleep, dudes. That's the way that it works. And they just prescribing shit all willy-nilly and getting all over your naked body and sticking you up with all kind of shit. Nice, get in here. I'm the qualified bing bong and I haven't slept in weeks. You're probably less qualified, but who cares? Who cares? These people, they think they're dying. They'll pay for this treatment. You see that degree up on the wall? Look at his handwriting. You can't read a thing. I'm a doctor. You can't read a thing. Someone responds, when I was in college, I asked my primary care physician if he thought that I should become a doctor. Me delivering the line ask your primary care physician if you should take Bing Bong, the medicine for getting hit in the head with a ball and then your breathing is great. You almost thought I forgot that thing that I said. What a stupid thing that I said. It feels like weeks ago I said that. This is a long list. When I was in college, I asked my primary care physician if he thought I should become a doctor. He told me, if you want to work like a gentleman, become a lawyer. Doctors work like animals for many years. I'm now a lawyer and I have zero regrets. I have no idea how you guys do it. Work like a gentleman. You mean just be a general asshole? Like your job is like to have a great time is what it is. Oh, so much of a lawyer's job is not being a lawyer, and that's fucking great. If you're a lawyer, man, you did it, man. You put up with all of that stupid ass. Ooh, you jumped through some hoops to get to do what you want to do. I have respect for that. You know what I mean? So much impractical bullshit in a job where it's pretty much all about being impractical as far as enforcing the law. You know what I mean? The law is stupid in itself. So when the law is so stupid, you know, you're almost not that bad for literally being trained to make the law even stupider. Let's just put more time between these trials. Come on. What the big the judicial system. Number 21, legacy programmer here. All the debt from your houses and your parents' and landlords' houses and increasingly all of your credit card, consumer, and student loans debts are all being processed on 24-hour cycles on a system backbone that was written well before I was born. And I'm old. I work in a mortgage servicing and tinker with the spider webs that hold up the economy as we know it. This shit about to collapse. Y'all don't even understand. I'm so ready for like the end times. A lot of you people aren't prepared for that because you haven't played the adequate amount of video games or watched the right horror movies. If you're watching horror movies and you're thinking to yourself, why the fuck y'all talking about this shit? Or why haven't you started running yet? You're asking the right questions. You know what I mean? And when people start having a dialogue in times that it's not supposed to be dialogue time, you're thinking the right thing. You know what I'm talking about? I want to get in a pickup truck with you. But the coolest thing is, when society falls apart, guys, the biggest thing we're gonna have to fear is one another. Cue the music. At any rate, again, I work in a mortgage servicing and tinker in spider webs that hold up the economy as we know it. It's pretty complex because everything runs on spit and promises and equal parts sunshine and darkness. We find ways to squeeze tiny bits of performance improvements out of the impossible system so that we can immediately put more load on it. Jeez. If you want to guarantee yourself years of work in an environment that you'll probably hate, learn to code in COBOL. Very interesting. Most of the people in my department are within a decade of retirement, if they live that long. Our company pays college kids to learn on the job now because there are no new COBOL programmers. I hate it. It's a chore to get up and go in every day. It's my dream job, and I'm lucky to have it. Oh, God, that's great. Number 20. In the legal profession, the most difficult asshole in the entire case is often your own client. Well, that's the way that it goes. They did something wrong. They shot their mouth off when they shouldn't have. Why didn't they just leave when they got the opportunity? What do you mean you're not guilty? It'd make my job so much easier if you were. Why can't you just have done the thing that they're accusing you of? Kramer! Sorry. Number 20? That's a legal position one. Is there a response to this? Somebody else responds. This ought to be good. 30 years of law practice. 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Coming at you with them rockin' hits. A lot of it pre-technology and more polite and cooperative than it was in the latter area. When it became nasty with a lot of dirty tricks and foul play. During many, many court appearances, there was an unspoken understanding between the counsel and the judge. We'd ask for a continuance of a hearing or trial date, all civil, mind you, and the reason? Witness Green isn't available. The Green report hasn't been completed. Green data tablets are not ready. Any problem Green related means clients has not paid your bill that month or in months, and the attorney isn't going to start a trial and invest more time until he or she gets paid. Well, that's the way things go. As we narrow ourselves down on what I could associate as the home stretch of this 54 corporate secrets consumers should know, we reach number 19. Engineering is nowhere close to being as accurate or precise as people think. Well, yeah, them bridges about to fall, baby. Bridges don't exist just to be burned. Bridges exist to collapse. You ever see that Golden Gate Bridge? That's that one red bridge that you see destroyed in every fucking movie. It could happen. Number 18, FedEx office doesn't recycle. I've personally killed probably close to an acre of a forest. Waited for a long time to post this, so it'd get buried. Well, number 18 is pretty high, buddy. Number 17, sewer inspector. I can tell exactly who/what house is dumping oil and grease down their drains. It's usually the churches and businesses that get nasty grams and fines, but we need to shame the house people too. Oh, snap. Okay, we'll stop. Not that I'm doing it, but you guys will stop. Are you guys doing it? I don't know. Number 16. I used to work for a major package delivery service, unloading semi-trailers. The flat screen TV you ordered for Christmas was under a gun safe and a lift kit for a truck. Somebody says, same past job. Your box looks like it's a little bit crushed. It was probably one of the 20 that were wedged together in a chute somewhere along the belt line that took all of the strength someone could summon to unwedge. If you're going to ship something, make sure it can survive a fall from chest height. Oh my God. Some of us just want nice things. Fuck me, right? Number 15. In mental health, often the appearance of progress is more important than progress itself. We keep seeing this, man. And again, best Futurama quote, when you do something right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. And it's horrifying to say that the appearance of monkey balls is sometimes better than monkey balls itself. That's crazy, guys. You know, because a lot of people, when they do things, they'll go, no one will know. But you will know. But you will know. Number 14, teacher here. I hide your secrets. If your kids know it, I know it. Children are tactless and impulsive, and they tell me about your reproductive habits, financial difficulties, domestic problems, and Tinder dates. Bitch. I know so much about moms and dads that I wish I could erase them from my brain forever. Someone responds, I self-inject medication once a week for arthritis, and I'm 75% certain my kids' teachers have heard about mommy using needles without context. Mommy uses needles. It's for my health. It's for your health. I'm Dr. Steve Brule. Number 13, I'm a doctor, Dr. Steve Brule. When I'm on a 28-hour call, I make lots of mistakes, and the nurses and pharmacies have kept you alive despite my best efforts. I'm sorry. I'll kill you one of these days. I'm kidding. He didn't say that last part. I'll kill you. I didn't say that part. But he will. These people make tons of mistakes. They're just people. They're just people. Until we can get these robots in some doctor coats to prescribe people properly, they're just humans. They're just people. It's no different from the way we got to look at it sometimes is like, dudes, you see how awful cops are, because they get a bad rap. There are a lot of great cops, and I'm sure there's some cops listening to this, and they're great guys, you know what I mean? The bottom line is, cops are just people. So you can't look at the cops and be like, oh man, these cops are so fucking bad. People are bad, my nigga, you know what I mean? And if you gave pretty much all of these people that you know a gun and put some money on a table and say, yo, this money doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to, you know what I mean? They would probably take that money. What are they going to do about it? They don't have a gun. This guy has a gun. So people are opportunists. They'll try to get away with what they believe they can get away with. You know what I mean? And it's just how people get down. It's not a bad, you can't just associate it with one tier of people because a lot of those people are super bad. It's like racism. A lot of people hate certain color people because so many of them have done a certain thing or something like this. You know what I'm talking about? But it's nuts. You can't associate that with an entire race or gender, you name it. So with doctors, they're humans. They're going to make mistakes, dude. There have been a lot of fucked up doctors, but we can't let that spoil the idea of a doctor for other people, because just like cops, we fucking need them. We fucking need them. So, am I saying we should get police robots? Sounds pretty cool. Number 12. It is hard to pop a balloon with a dart at a carnival to win a prize. The balloon is underinflated, and the tip of the dart is dull. It bounces off. It's hard to get a basketball into the hoop at carnivals to win a prize. The ball is super inflated, so it's hard and easily bounces off. The hoop is smaller than a regulation hoop. Got to shoot high and let it come down with a straight through to make that hoop. The largest stuffed animal you could possibly win at the carnival costs approximately $7 to $10. You will spend over $100 working your way up to that big prize. The more you know. Number 11. It's not uncommon for assistants and apprentices to make the art of really famous, well-known, expensive artists. The artist might be very involved in the process or barely involved. They can have studios with dozens of assistants churning out all of their work, and then they just sign their name on it. I'm not just talking about sculptures or art installations where assistants might be doing the grunt work. Even paintings could be barely touched by the actual artist. This is something we know to be true, though. And that's the truth. Somebody named Damien Hirst is one of the culprits for what we're talking about right now. That's just the way it goes. Number 10 on the list of 54 corporate secrets. Consumers should know. These greedy fat cats don't want you to know. They want you to know it. They don't want you. Stuff they don't want you to know. Here's where it gets crazy. Number 10, locksmithing. Live in an apartment building? Does your superintendent have a master key for the apartment doors? Then forget about thinking you are safe and secure behind your locked door. If at any time a master key has gone missing, the only way to secure the building is to rekey every lock in the place. And nobody ever wants to absorb that expense. This means that the keying chart for your building has been in use since the building was constructed. You can remove the deadbolt from a door and with some very basic knowledge disassemble the cylinder and calculate the shear lines where the apartment key and the master key operate by deducing the cuts on the apartment key. You can easily calculate the cuts for the master key, take the calculations to a locksmith, and in minutes you can have a master key that will open every door in your building. If you live in a high-rise, don't trust deadbolts to keep you secure. Replace the lock with a high-security deadbolt, such as a Medico, maybe. Medico. It's a brand, guys. We're gonna look it up so you get like a little bit of imagery. Medico locks. Bing bong. It is what you thought it was. High security. Hashtag ad. Okay. It's not an ad for Medico. He doesn't know what. We don't know. We don't know what anybody has going on. All right, guys. Number 9. A certain telephone company with a blue globe logo doesn't actually have a billing department. You're always routed to sales. The job is not to fix your billing problems. It's to upsell you. Nigga, excuse me? What do you mean it's not to fix your billing problems? So what the fuck? So if you need your problem solved, what the fuck happens? A certain telephone company with a blue globe logo doesn't actually have a billing department. You are always routed to sales. The job is not to fix your billing problem, it's to upsell you. If you have a legit billing problem, you will be transferred because the rep doesn't want to deal with anyone that isn't a sale. Every time you're transferred, it's actually to the same department, just a different sales rep. Billing managers are really just sales managers. It'll be a minute while the account loads. Already loaded. So what do you like to watch on TV? Really running their address for coming sales pitch. Oh my God. TV, my nigga. Number 8. If I start CPR on you, you have about a 5% chance to survive. I still try my hardest. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, get an upvote, guy. Number 7. GM, general manager of a rental car company here. Do not under any circumstances buy additional roadside assistance or premium roadside assistance. Essentially, every new car comes with 5 years of free roadside assistance from the manufacturer. As long as you weren't off-roading, just give the manufacturer's RSA hotline the VIN mileage and you're good to go. Of a rental car. Interesting. That's you guys learning something. So that's what's up. Number 6, I get paid to tell you that what your employees have been telling you. What is that? I get paid to tell you what your employees have been telling you. The hell are you? What's the name of your job? Someone else says this is buried, but it's oh so true. Real life example I was involved in. When where I work, a nonprofit started to email campaigns, we had open rates of around 36% with corresponding high click-through rates, pretty damn high. The management started to abuse the hell out of it by over-emailing everyone. We either had people unsubscribe like mad or just ignore / not open. Our rates went down to about 5%. We had over half our list unsubscribe. Every time we had an event or something going on, the message was always the same. I want this to go out to everyone. I'd be like, we need to email far less and target to people's interests when we do. We need to have an event coming up. I want an email blast going out every day for a week before the event, reminding people about it. So eventually the big guy is despondent over the super low rates. We end up contracting with a social media expert company to develop a strategy for us, and it cost us $40,000. And their biggest recommendation: cut down on the number of emails we send out and target them to interested audiences. Hilarious. Well, some people you can't even deal with and I told you so's because they only hear what they want to hear, man. Number 5, plumber. I make over half my money using one tool that costs $50 and a skill that can be learned in 20 minutes. The tool is a shifter. And the skill is knowing how to pull apart and install tabs. Nigga, we gonna learn some shit this week. I'm telling y'all. What is a shifter, boy? No, shifter plumbing, you bitch. Internet. You know what I'm talking about? Wait, is this just a wrench? Shifter. I think this is a shifter. No? That's the one you put in a car. What the? God damn it. Well, look, we'll figure it out. We'll figure this out. Don't even worry about it. Somebody says, yes, but your job is icky, so I will pay you to do it. This has been upvoted more than the original comment. Your job is icky, so I'll pay you to do it. That's the world we live in, man. That is the world we live in. I can see Emily making this comment. That's an icky job. Number 4. Security guards laugh at you when you do stupid shit in front of our cameras. Man, I really want to just like look up one day after I've done something ridiculous and then like, you know, have the Curb Your Enthusiasm music start playing. Oh my God. A response says, I remember that one security guard that got sued because he uploaded a video of some woman who was texting and fell into a fountain. Psh, that's delicious. Somebody says, examples, please. Oh, OP swooping in. He got to get him some security. Waka waka. Okay, give me a second. The guy says, I maintain hospital CCTV. We get off-duty doctors bringing nurses or other guys into one of our car parks to get down and dirty. Well, that does happen a lot. Sometimes the security guys will comment as they swipe out at the barrier. I've seen 2 ballet dancers practice in one of the car parks early one morning, and that was a thing of beauty. A drug dealer, his massive stash in some bushes below one of the CCTV poles. If he looked up, he would have seen the camera looking down at him, so when he left, security went out and retrieved the package. He went crazy when he found it gone, so security went out and explained the confiscation. The guy actually made a theft report to the police, who already had the package, so they arrested him. Wow. Can you imagine? They stole my drugs. Y'all cops, you gonna get them back or what? So these are your drugs? Hell yeah, they my drugs, and I need them back. God damn it, it's my drugs. Damn it. Damn it. So they arrested him. One time a mobile MRI truck exploded. It was like the hatch in Lost blowing up. Holy crap. Everything went bright white, lots of steam and gas, a boom, then quite a big fire. That is fucking scary. Also, the birth of about 200 spiders. It was on the dome of one of the cameras, so it was like 200 spiders crawling across your eye. Sleep well thinking about that. Sleep well. Oh boy. Somebody else said, I watched a teenagers break up in our children's playroom. Oh, this is the whole list now. They'd go from crying to yelling to making out and then back again. Another security officer and I literally made popcorn and watched. Eventually it got out of hand and I tried to drag the girl out in handcuffs. LOL. One time I saw a lady pick her ear wax with her finger, then lick it clean. Super weird. Oh my god. Once I saw a kid run headfirst into a wall. No idea what he was thinking. Maybe just no depth perception. Zero hesitation. Smacks right into it. One time I saw a guy roll up a joint, light it, then take a piss all over the ground. Exterior camera. I went out to tell him I could see what he's doing and he said he knew and didn't care. Weird dude. Tried to blame the paint fumes. Okay. This guy says he works in a museum. One time I saw an exhibit intern miss a nail and smash his thumb with a hammer. I felt bad, but I chuckled a bit, watching him pace around shouting what I assume was every swear word in the book. One time I saw a kid projectile vomit all over the floor. Casually got on the radio and asked the custodial to walk through the area. Oh boy. The Shaggy defense. It wasn't me. Saw me banging on the sofa. The Chewbacca defense. If Chewbacca lives on Endor, you must have quit. What the fuck? Chewbacca is a Wookiee. He comes from the planet Kashyyyk. Oh my god. What's he doing on Endor? Jesus, I love the Chewbacca defense. I love the Chewbacca defense. I'm so sorry, guys. Number 3. Every driver of a truck has nodded off at least one time or another, making them 80,000 pound death missile. 80,000 pound death missile, man. That sounds like my wrestling name. Maybe my stripper name, you know what I mean? 80,000 pound death missile. When I get the gyrate in my hips and I thrust it. Okay, look. This is a response. I worked receiving at Costco for 5 years. I can attest that these people are sleep deprived as fuck. They always look like zombies when I buzz them in. That, and they probably Swift Transportation doesn't offer their employees dental. Number 2. I am a welder for a company that builds roller coasters. Every single weld is inspected and x-rayed for any defect, so I guess this doesn't apply. But just so everyone can feel a little bit safer, I figured I'd let you internet people know. Wait. This is a good one. Why don't they want us to know this? Well, he's probably just being a nice guy, letting us know something. So again, guys, number 54 corporate secrets consumers should know. And we've made it to number 1. So good for us. We did it. Number 1, valet driver here. Don't leave your drugs in the car. A kid took a pound out of the customer's car a few years back, and the dude came back flipping out, screaming at the manager. When the manager finally asked what was stolen, and he told him weed, my manager just said, "Oh, well, you can file a police report then." Somebody said, "God damn, that was some movie level shit." Somebody said, "Do that in California these days, and you all of a sudden stealing their medicine." With the SpongeBob meme. That is what I'm talking about, guys. I'll see you guys later. This one goes out to Sean, because I am just losing my mind trying to make these happen. But hey, we did it. Later. I believe in you. Bye. Love you.